Today I'm doing an experiment. I have 2 exact bowls with the exact measurements. 2 cups, that's 4 cups of flour, regular flour, 1 egg each, 2 cups of room temperature water. I'm gonna mix them one at a time, yeast and a little bit of salt. That's all it is to bake it. I'm going to bake a bread, show you how to do that, but I'm going to then cook them in 2 separate type of pots. One is a Staub cast iron, the other one's just a cast iron skillet, and see which one turns out best. So I decided to combine both the breads together so that they're truly equal, even on the kneading time. And basically each one had a package and a half of the active dry yeast that I do mix with a little bit of warm water as well. So these are the 2 of them. We're gonna knead them together and everything, let it rest exactly the same. So the only difference will be then the cooking technique. And the reason that I keep folding it over like this is it gets air pockets in it and it makes your bread come out fluffier. And the reason I add an egg to it is it also adds air into the bread and makes the crust a little bit crustier as well. So if you're vegan, excuse me, you don't have to add the egg. It's not by any means a necessity to add that in. But I do it because it does make the bread a little bit more airier. And I'm sure if you're vegan, you know substitutes to be able to do that as well. All right, so we're gonna let this baby sit a good few hours. I'm gonna cover it up so it's nice and warm. It has a good chance to levitate. I don't just put a towel directly on it. I'm gonna put on some parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the towel. And then we'll leave it till it's probably gonna be more than double, but I'll show you how much. Okay, so this is the exact same dough. We are at a 2-hour rise point, so you could see that it has doubled. And you could see that I had it covered with first the parchment paper and then a couple of towels to keep it warm. I'm gonna let it go just a little bit more and then I'm gonna give it a second knead. 2-hour point. Wow, okay, that is big. So I'm gonna cut it in half because remember we're gonna experiment and do 2. And a lot of dough. My other board's ready here with a little bit of flour. And when I do the second knead, more than just kneading, I'm really flattening it out and folding it so that my dough gets the air pockets in it. And if you could hear, it sounds like the dough is technically farting. It's not, it's the air bubbles that are going into it. And the more you knead it and get those little air pockets out, the airier your bread's gonna be when it's all ready. Yep, and I could definitely hear those air pockets that it's making. And you'll also notice that it got a little bit smaller too. And that's because of the second kneading. So we're gonna cover it up, probably leave it at least another hour. And in case you're wondering if you could go out with this, if you're a little late, instead of an hour, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, you're fine. I've had points where I've left it a little bit too long, got really big again, so I had to take care of it. Okay, so I should have my nice little air pockets in this one. We'll cover that up, then I'll move to this one, and then I'll show you in a couple of hours what that looks like and how I put it into the pans. Here's my bread after 1 more hour. Remember, that is 4 cups of flour. So it's very inexpensive to make your own bread. Now I'm going to bake one in a cast iron skillet and the other one in my Staub Dutch oven. So I'm gonna see the differences on how they come out and I'll show you. So I'm gonna put both of these in the oven at 400 degrees and let them be nice and hot so that when I put the bread in, it'll already be like their own little oven surfaces. All right, these are my 2 cooking surfaces. So you'll notice that this has the little dimples in it. That's so when the steam comes up, it goes directly down on the bread or whatever you're baking to keep it moist. It is hot, and I'm going to take, okay, here's the bread that I'm going to drop into there. And there it is. And then I'll drop the bread into the other one. Here's the other one. And I'm going to have it come out a little bit more decorative. So let me find my scissor and I'll show you what I do with this. So some people might have different type of scoring things to decorate pies or different pastries. I'm actually just using the scissor, as you could see, putting in little indents. So that'll make the bread just look cute when it comes out, and it's also going to give more of it that crusty look. And I'm going to cover this back up, put it in the oven. The oven again is at 400. I'm probably going to drop it to 390 and check it in about 35 minutes. Okay, so this one is easily visible. You could see what that scoring did on the top. Looks pretty darn good. And that is, I'm at 58 minutes at 390 degrees. And now I'm going to pull this one out. By the way, these get hot really fast. This is going to be a surprise. Oh, wow. I don't have to tell you, you could see the difference. Wow. Quite a bit, even to the touch. This one's tender, the other one is. I mean, I am really, really happy with this bread. It looks good, but this is professional. So ironically, this is going to set you back about $150 for that pot. This one, you're going to get it under 40. I'm glad I have both. I'll let you make the choice on which one you want to cook in. But again, this one's pretty good. It's a good, wholesome bread. Ironically, this might need a couple more minutes in the oven because of how it's cooking. So I'm going to put this in for an hour and 10 minutes versus just the 1 hour on the other one. Please leave comments on the bottom, subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.